ta maman.
A voice like that could be soothing for anyone. It's not just a parent singing lullabies. This is a professional, a Mezzo-Soprano in a French opera company, and she's bringing comfort to mothers and premature babies alike at a hospital in northeastern France. She says the vibrations of the voice have something enveloping for the little ones, so much so that they fall into a deep sleep 4 out of 5 times. She doesn't use her full volume or full range. The focus is on restful notes. But the songs do range from nursery rhymes to Disney classics, from Ave Maria to Amazing Grace. A doctor at the hospital says there's science to this too, that singing's been proven to soothe babies, slow their heart rates, and help them sleep. The partnership between the hospital and the opera began a year ago. One mother says in a place where the days are long and silent except for the noises of the machines, the singing brings a little bit of joy, and that she could sense her baby was loving the performance. This is the world from A to Z, your nonpartisan source for news and world events, and my name is Azuz. We're thankful to be starting a new week with you. According to a new study, there's some good news and concerning news when it comes to global life expectancy. Research out of the University of Washington in Seattle found that around the world, women live on average for 76.3 years and men for 71.5 years. That was as of 2023. The levels are now the same as they were before the COVID-19 pandemic, which was blamed for impacting life expectancy. The good news is, people worldwide are living significantly longer than they did in 1950. Back then, women were expected to live for just over 51 years. For men, it was just under 48 years. So the expected gain is more than 20 years for both sexes. But modern life expectancies aren't even across different countries. An African nation we're visiting later today has a life expectancy of just over 56 years on average. In the US, it's just over 80 years. And in the European country of Monaco, which has the longest life expectancy, it's almost 90 years. One troubling part of the new report says that in North and South America, alcohol and drug use and self-harm are reasons why death rates are increasing among people ages 20 to 39. The authors say this region needs to prioritize finding out why people are turning to things that can hurt them and improving young people's access to care, which could include mental health treatment. Last Friday was World Mental Health Day, an event that aims to raise awareness and support for this issue. Here are some strategies that could help address it.
In the U.S., an estimated 1 in 5 adults live with a mental illness, and that's why awareness is so important. At The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, clinical neuropsychologist Scott Langenegger says everyone should know 5 facts about mental health. First, don't limit your expectations of those who have mental illness.
Some of the most important innovations that we've had in the history of humans have been developed by people who also have mental health conditions.
Second, Langenegger says care is available like never before. Thanks to technology like video conferencing, more people struggling with mental health are being reached and are receiving personalized, high-quality care. Third, it's important to look at people in a holistic way. Seeing a person's diagnosis is only one part, and to consider how they are moving toward wellness and resilience.
Some of that can be embedded within their workplace and the supports that they have in their workplace or in their school.
Fourth, Langenegger says there needs to be a shift in how we think about mental health. Focus on today and tomorrow rather than the past. If someone struggling has a bad day, learn from it and use that knowledge for a better tomorrow. And finally, you can make a difference to someone who is struggling by simply checking on them.
To really sort of reconsider what's happening in the moment and not getting lost in the crisis of the moment or a mistake of the moment.
I'm Mandy Gaither.
Word of knowledge. Which of these historic buildings had its cornerstone laid on this date in 1792? White House, U.S. Capitol, Louvre, Sydney Opera House. On October 13, 1792, builders laid the cornerstone of the Executive Mansion, which in later years would become known as the White House.
People sometimes ask, what's my favorite news story that I've reported on? One of them took place about 2 years after I started anchoring. There was an extraordinary rescue in the South American nation of Chile, and it was made on this date in 2010. There'd been a collapse at a gold and copper mine that August. 33 miners survived, but they were trapped nearly half a mile underground with no way to get out. They lived on emergency rations for weeks before rescuers were able to establish contact with them. Holes were drilled to get the miners fresh water, food, and medical supplies, but the 33 men would set a record for time spent trapped underground, 69 days before engineers were able to drill and reinforce a new tunnel to where the miners were. Over the course of a day on October 13th, all 33 workers were pulled to safety in a special metal capsule.
Where in the world? Though this nation is located in Africa, its official language is French. It achieved its independence from France in 1960. It is a republic located almost exactly in the middle of Africa, facts that are reflected in its name. This is the Central African Republic, a country of more than 5.6 million people.
In recent decades, the Central African Republic, or C.A.R., has seen a series of government coups, internal conflicts, and extensive poverty. Though the nation has tremendous natural resources, almost 70% of its people live below the poverty line. This makes preserving its cultural heritage a great challenge, but dancers and officials are taking steps to do it.
As the drum thuds, dancers twist and tap out traditional African steps and moves. It's the Central African Republic's national ballet. The C.A.R. is home to many ethnic groups, and its ballet recently took on the official responsibility for recording and preserving the nation's unique ethnic dance styles.
Through these traditional dances, everyone from different ethnic groups, we are all united. It's a good thing to share what we have in common.
Choreographers travel to specific regions to learn local dances in person and hire a broad ethnic range of native dancers. The ballet's accuracy and lively routines have made performances at cultural and political events a frequent occurrence. So much so that the government has defined national ballet members as civil servants.
By integrating them as civil servants, we can ensure that they are available at any time, on any occasion, and that at the end of the month, they receive a salary.
That income puts an end to the dancer's struggling artist lifestyle. International estimates show less than 10% of dancers will become well-paid professionals. Dance is an unstable career for many, as they're always looking for the next performance. And in the tough economy of the C.A.R., an unstable career is a big risk. The ballet's director says providing salaries was the team's most pressing wish. Now, with steady paychecks at twice the nation's minimum wage, these artists can devote more time to their mission.
We need to educate young people, those who still have the will and the vigor to come together with us to promote traditional dance. Tomorrow, if we are no longer here, it will be up to them to take over.
Preserving the movements of their people for coming generations, one dance at a time.
Starting off the week by spending some time out west. From Elmira, Oregon, a big hello to Mr. Wondra's class. Elmira High School is the home of the Falcons. There's magic in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's the home of Mulaski Junior High School, where Mr. Giuliano's class is watching. And we also want to recognize Gackle Streeter Public School, where Miss Ova's class is with us from Gackle, North Dakota, where the Orioles fly. At first glance, it looks just like a beautiful fall scene from a historic American university. But if you look more closely at the spire at the top of the main hall here, you'll see something orange, a pumpkin that mysteriously appears there every year. This is a homecoming tradition that's been carried on for 3 decades at the University of Montana. There's no official word on who gets it there or how. Should people try this? Goodness, no. But there are rumors that climbing experience and safety precautions are top priorities. But think of the other occasions they could aspire to. A glove for Boxing Day, a barbell for Leg Day, a Superman for Bastille Day, a fake pony for April Fool's Day, 5 condiments for Cinco de Mayo, a chicken or shrimp for Friday, and a cherry on top for Sunday. All of those really would be a towering achievement. I'm Carl Azuz for The World from A to Z, and we hope the rest of your Monday is a fun day.